Hello and welcome to What a Time to Podcast, powered by WATTPOD. My name is Walid, also known as Walidafy. This is my co-host Faiq. So Faiq, how are you doing today?
I am very well on this fine summer evening. Very hot.
It's a hot evening. It was like 29 degrees throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
Unbearable heat. But yeah, hopefully you guys had heard our first podcast. We're now going to talk about many different things and try a new segment out, which will come out later in the podcast as well.
Yep.
But the first segment we want to talk about is currently the Euros. So the Euros 2020 or 2021, depending on how you want to brand it.
Well, the brand name is Euro 2020.
Yeah.
I really want to home that in. They're like, no,
literally.
it's not 2021, it's 2020.
Yeah.
Call it that. Yeah. Euros is looking after a year's delay. It's coming out. I mean, what's your opinion on it? Because in the back of your head, you know the World Cup's coming next year.
Yeah.
So I feel like me personally, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also like, it seems like a filler kind of tournament.
I feel like because it didn't happen last year, with previous Euros and World Cups, it's like you watch any match regardless of what the match is.
Yeah.
But this Euros, it's like I don't care about the other matches.
Yeah, I do, but then sometimes I'm just like, you know, if I miss it, I miss it. Like, I'm really not bothered.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I like watching all the matches because every match has, it's football, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
But it's like this year, I'm just like, it's like Scotland against whoever. And I'm like, do I really want to sit and watch Scotland? And then it's just like, the only games I want to watch is like England or Germany, and that's it. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think as we go past the group stages a bit more, some of the big matches coming up, like the group of death, you're gonna have a big match all the time. I think that's when we're probably going to get more interested. But you're right, like I don't want to watch Scotland against Czech Republic. No disrespect, but I'm just not really interested.
I mean, saying that, Czech Republic did have 2 really good goals. So
yes, but we don't know that yet because by the time we release this,
it happened today. It happened today, yeah.
Yes, but by the time we release it, they might have awful results.
What do you mean? It's already happened though. So
no, it has happened. But look, with football, you can have one really good result and then next result.
I see what you mean.
And I don't want Czech Republic fans coming back to us and be like, "Walidafy, you jinxed it. It's your fault.
You gave us hope, and
then sue WATTPOD."
Sue WATTPOD. Yeah.
So we want to be careful with that.
Our boss has no money anyway, so it wouldn't really go well. But besides that, but yeah, what I was saying about the Czech Republic game was the goals. So it's like what you're watching is for the goals. Even like 2018, like the Russia World Cup, like the opening game was like Russia, Saudi Arabia. Technically, no one cares, but it's like a 5-0 goal.
It was a great game.
It was a really good game.
It was a good game.
And all the other games afterwards were like you just wanted to watch it because it's like you get that 2-year gap between national matches, like national team games.
Yeah.
I think with like the introduction of what was that weird thing they did for European teams as well? The National League, something like that.
Super League.
No, that's the Champions League. I mean for national teams.
Oh, the Nations Cup or Nations League.
Nations League, something like that. Yeah. And then you have the Euros, and then you have the World Cup, and it's like, mate, how many times do you want to watch the same teams?
I think the Nations League was just a way of making friendlies more attractive, but everyone really knew that it was not a cup.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't see Portugal go out of the moon that they won it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So everyone knows it was just a filler, it's just a marketing ploy. The Euros definitely hold some weight still. Like, it still means a lot. Funny enough, I think England have never won it, actually.
I think they won it in 96.
Have they won it in 96?
I think that's why Foden made his hair blonde.
No, they reached the semi-finals that year. They never actually won it.
Oh, they never won it.
England have a habit where they have what they call an amazing season, and they put it in their books because they only have one World Cup. And by the way, every English fan will probably agree.
Hopefully they agree and don't discredit two brown boys talking about this.
Here's the cycle when it comes to England. When there's no tournament, everyone talks about how bad they are.
Mm-hmm.
All falling to be fixed when the tournament arrives. It's coming home, and I do like that. I think you should always back your team.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, just back your team when it comes to it.
But here's the issue. I think everyone here in England know there's an element of banter towards it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too serious.
Yeah.
But other countries in Europe are taking it very seriously.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, they actually are calling England fans, English pundits, they're calling them arrogant.
Yeah.
Because they actually believe that
I think it just comes down to English sarcasm, which not many people understand too much.
Yeah, I think it's a very particular thing when it comes to English sarcasm.
It's basically lying but pretending it's sarcasm.
I mean, let's put it this forward, guys. no one actually believes it's coming home. Just to clarify, okay. There's no arrogance here. It's, to be honest with you, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of funny that we fall for a good laugh.
Yeah, we don't need to bring back a 3-year-old trend of it's coming home.
Yeah, but the trend is already there. There's people actually getting tattoos where it's like it's coming home 21. Well, actually, would you put 2020 or would you put 21? Let's clarify that first.
I mean, seeing as like FIFA and stuff, like market it as Euro 2020, I guess 20 makes sense, but
nah, they want that bag.
They want,
As soon as the clubs want to form a Super League, though, no, destroying football. All about the money.
Literally. But yeah, let's talk about the England team, because that's probably what most people want to talk about, and I mean that's probably where we know most of our expertise for football as well.
Yes.
So what do you think about Gareth Southgate's selection?
Well, the selection is not... I don't really have an issue with the selection, to be fair. I think he just went, look, who's good, or I'll put him in. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't think that's a bad thing. Because some players can switch positions, and you don't always have to have, I don't know, like 4 centre-backs or something on those lines.
Yeah, for sure.
The only issue I have is Gareth Southgate himself. He's just tactically inept. He's not a good manager. Let's be honest. Really, he's achieved nothing. Again, by the time this comes out, I can literally have egg on my face, and I could do amazing. So
by the time we finally,
crazy masterclass, and he could revolutionize football. I doubt it though. But the game that we saw,
the England-Croatia game was the driest game because
there was no tactics.
It was
even the subs he brought on made no sense because they were like subs. He didn't really change anything.
The thing I don't have an issue with Southgate because, I'm a Man United fan and my manager's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So when he first came in, people were like, who's this guy, bro?
But he still had experience.
Yeah, but it's not really the greatest experience at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like Southgate coming in for England. It was relatively the same.
Did you know why I disagree? Is because other managers who came in from other countries, like Joachim Löw in Germany, he did spend his time managing the youth teams, and then he was assistant for Klinsmann, and apparently he's quite heavily involved with the tactics.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so when they brought him on, it was a project for him.
Yeah.
Which is why in his first World Cup, he actually took a massive step. All those senior players, he just said, look, don't really want you. And he brought all these under-21 young German team which then carried and revolutionized forward. I mean, really, what did Southgate do in that World Cup? To be honest with you, England, if they did not reach the semi-finals is good, there's no doubt about it. But with the half they had, if they didn't reach the semi-finals, it would have been a major, major flop. Yeah. And to be honest with you, some may say they should even have reached the final. Yeah. So it depends on how you look at it.
I mean, the team was good. But yeah, I feel like... I don't know if it's English teams or something to do with the Prem or whatever, but there's always that downfall or that slow build-up of play or that not really wanting to get there.
Because there's no tactics, I mean, if you have the players there and you don't have a system or an identity, it becomes a training session.
Yeah, literally.
It becomes a friendly game. Every single game becomes a friendly. And to be honest with you, again... it may even change. I feel it was very limited knowledge right now. But I was watching Spain, and even Spain now, they're a completely different team than they were back in the day was they dominated. But the identity is still there.
Yeah,
it's tiki taka, it's fast flowing, it's keeping possession, and off the ball they're pressing high, getting that ball back. It's the identity of the country as well. Yeah,
I mean, there's also the fact that you've got Luis Enrique, who did the same exact thing at Barcelona.
Yeah, and that's where the managers come in, right?
Yeah.
It's the top draw manager against a manager who's done nothing.
Even if you look at Gareth Southgate, I mean, by the time all this comes out and stuff, there could be a possibility that, England win the Euros or whatever, and people are like, oh, look, this is what Southgate does, and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, Southgate's identity is not there. There's never really been an English formation or an English press or an English defense.
And isn't that weird how there's the English game and everyone recognizes it because it's there in the Premier League, it's intense, it's get stuck in. But the national team doesn't really have that, which is really odd.
Which is odd. Yeah, because they do it all year round. So you'd expect them to come into the national team and be like, let's do what we did. But then you realize that there's not many English managers left in the Prem.
Yeah, that's true.
There is a few. I don't know them off the top. who's not there anymore. So clearly not many English.
Yeah, it's true though. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like he was top. I think top 4 managers. I think he must have been the only manager who was there. And
yeah,
he's gone.
top 4. Yeah, he was the only one. And then you got Tuchel came in, won the
2
Champions
Germans.
League. You got 2 Germans.
Both won Champions League.
Got a Spaniard, and you got a guy from Norway.
Yeah, yes, you do.
so there's not many British managers, and the thing is, those guys, their managerial background, not even background, just their country, they bring that in.
Yeah,
Guardiola brings that Spanish,
yes,
flair and stuff like that, and that press that you were talking about, the tiki taka and stuff.
Yeah,
Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah,
Tuchel bring that German side to it.
Yeah,
which is really aggressive.
Yeah,
getting there for the ball.
Tactically, just on it. Yeah, wherever they can to win off the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just. I think he's one like out of the blue moon who just brings his own. I don't know what his tactic is, but it works.
well, I mean, that's a whole separate issue.
Yeah, that's
when it comes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Man United, everyone has an opinion on it.
So that's a whole nother podcast, I guess.
Yeah, it's literally a whole nother podcast. But you're right. Like every manager does bring in their own. I feel like almost their own country's identity, as you mentioned. And England really should have that, but there's no one out there really. I mean, the only one who honestly comes to my head is Big Sam, because he has that philosophy. Yeah. And well, to be fair, he's the only manager who has a 100% win record for England.
He did the one game and then left, no?
Yeah, so technically, he's probably the greatest English manager of all time, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Or the manager who won the World Cup. That's probably the greatest. But
yeah,
to me personally, I think England, because of the lack of managers available right now, I mean, you could look at Harry Redknapp, but I don't rate Harry Redknapp as a manager right now in the modern game.
Yeah.
They may need to actually go for a manager who's not English.
I mean, they did that with
a couple of times.
Yeah.
Capello as well. Before that, it was
some Swedish don,
he's a legendary manager as well. It's kind of disappointing that we don't know his name, but that's 2006.
Yeah, some Swedish Donny, I think it was.
That's a disrespective though. He's actually manager.
I think he was really good.
Real
as a
Madrid,
manager.
Big manager, Juventus. But anyways, I think Capello didn't work because he was a bit too strict apparently. But I think someone like Arsene Wenger would be amazing.
But then
that's a dream manager.
Yeah, I guess. But then, I mean, if you want 14 years without a Prem, but anyway, that's a different story.
But look at the team he had.
He had decent.
He had Shamak up front. No disrespect to Shamak. If you want to buy the WATTPOD app, please do. You got fantastic hair. So actually, I would love. It would be amazing
if
you came on the podcast.
Partnered with us.
Because honestly, that guy has some legendary hair. Yeah. So I'd love to have him on.
100%.
You can download and book your appointment as well to get your haircut like Shamak. That's a bit of free press there. But no disrespect, like when you have players like that up front and you still make top 4, that's a huge achievement. And you're competing
100%.
Against Barcelona. That Barcelona team was incredible.
Yeah.
And they won one of the games. Sorry, it was 2-2, but it was a moral victory.
Yeah, literally.
So. And I think when it comes to the English game, and Premier League, I think he really understands it.
Yeah.
But Arsene Wenger's probably not coming back in management, so that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mourinho said no before. So Alex said no before.
Yeah. I mean, but then it comes down. So England doesn't have that tactic of we do this on the pitch. But then they do have that we're friends. We're one team, we're one group, we're one people, we do this together.
Yeah.
There's no one left behind, everyone's important. So does that counter the effect of not having the tactics, but having each player individually knowledgeable of knowing what to do on the pitch and being like, I can trust my teammate?
Yes, yeah. So there are a couple of points to that. Basic point, so England before did not have that, so the fact they have that now is good, is a positive. But most countries have it and have had it for time.
Yeah, that's true.
So England's almost playing catch up at that point. Mm-hmm. The issue with football is it's heavily drilled when it comes with tactics, especially in the top teams.
100%.
The manager really does dictate, which is why they change managers so often, because you can change the season. Look at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So because of that, you have to have tactics. Like a great manager will always annoy 3-4 players, top players.
Yeah.
It's just the way it happens because they believe in their system so much.
Yeah.
With international football, you can actually get away with it to a certain degree because the football quality isn't as high as it is there. So a lot of the teams end up doing well don't really have a tactic.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility of them getting away, but the top teams, the ones who win the trophies, they have an identity and they have a tactic. You have to be good.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the past winners, probably the past 3 World Cup winners, each one of them has a separate identity, and they used that to win.
Yeah.
I mean, France had. I mean, it was based on players.
Yeah.
But they had a really great defense, so they just took all the pressure off. And then guys like Kante, who again disturbed the play, and then Pogba and Matuidi, along with Kante. And then Pogba was the guy just drilling that ball forward.
Yeah.
Mbappe, Griezmann providing support, Giroud providing support, and Mbappe just running up and down, just destroying defenders.
Yeah.
It was just a great system.
But then you can also look at Portugal. Portugal, if you ever thought of Portuguese national football.
But that goes back to the point. It's their tactics. That's why they won.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like with England, it's just I think the only reason they even made semi-finals is because they had that friendly manner with each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't the tactics. The tactics were dry as hell.
Yeah, well, it was the run as well. You're right. It was the fact they were actually friends this time.
Yeah.
And the run was easy. And I think football is such a complicated sport, but really the managers make such a huge impact. And international football is more simple than club football.
Yeah.
Club football is such a high quality. So with international football, if you have an identity, you're probably going to make it to the semis.
Yeah.
Any sort of identity.
Yeah.
Yours is probably going to be no different. I don't know. I think England right now have an opportunity because of the young players they have and the talent. They can build something really good.
For sure.
No, look, it's coming home as a joke. No one actually believes they're going to win it. But there is a sense, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a sense that there's something being built. There's a foundation, a strong foundation.
I feel like the foundation was built in Euro 2016, and then we saw the fruits of that in 2018. Sort of.
I think you're forgetting what happened in Euro 2016.
Maybe.
Iceland. Iceland is what happened in Euro 2016.
But that's where the foundation came, right? So the layers started.
You know why it didn't? Because you're forgetting what players were there in that time.
Probably.
Lingard, Kane.
Kane was there, yeah.
Kane was probably the only person there who was actually relevant right now. Like, you look at the players now, it's a different game, it's a different squad.
Yeah.
I think, who was the centre back time? I think it was Smalling.
I'm
pretty sure it was Smalling.
I think because it was that shocking, we don't remember many things about that team. Okay, so 2018 was the foundation.
Yeah, 2018 was more of a foundation. But again, if you look at players like Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Trent as well. I know he's not injured, but if Reece James, you can put him in there instead. Declan Rice.
Yeah.
This is the future of England, and they're all there now, and they weren't there back then. Which is why I think there's. I think the brickwork in a sense was laid in 2016 World Cup. Was that?
Yeah.
16. Yeah, that was built there because there's a confidence. They actually beat Colombia on penalties, which is like, whoa, what's going on? I think there was a certain element of foundation. 2018. So yeah, there was an element of a foundation being built. But I think really right now there's a run that can be made.
I think
like this team could reach the semis.
Yeah.
And in World Cup they could reach the semis again, and then in about 4 years they could win it. Like, that's the sort of team we're looking at right now.
But what I also think is that a lot of these guys that are coming through are really versatile players now.
Yeah.
Because they want that game time.
Yes.
So like Foden, he's switching around a lot. Even for Man City, he's sometimes in the midfield, sometimes he's up front.
Yeah.
You know, he's on the wing. You know, sometimes he's playing like that. Mason Mount, it's the same. He's in the midfield. He's sometimes up front, sometimes here and there. So I think because a lot of them have the chance to play and they all have a lot more game time, they have all matured a lot as well. Someone like Rashford, he's really mature as a player, but he's very young.
Yeah.
You know, he's got plenty of seasons under him in the Champions League, in the Europa League, in the Premier League, playing all these games, you know, winning Europa League, winning things like that. But, you know, that maturity is there now, so that helps him a lot on the pitch.
So I know you're a United fan, so I know you mentioned Rashford, but this is why this ties into Southgate. There's a player on Rashford's side who should be starting.
Yeah.
He should not even be. He should be there. Like, there's no reason why you wouldn't play him because he's head and shoulder above anyone in that position. That's Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho does what Rashford does, but more. So, like, One Earth is he wasn't even on the bench. Like this again, that's my frustration with Southgate.
100%.
But you're right. There was an element of these sort of players who almost like even Harry Kane became like a real captain.
Yeah.
Henderson as well. Actually, he really built on that success and became like the leader. And these guys are the leaders now. So these young players, they're really setting an example.
Yeah.
And I think that foundation in a sense was built. But I think what we're thinking now of England is that there's a run that could be made.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Like, Germany, the foundation was built in 2010, but the run happened in 2016, and then in 2012, and then in 14 when they eventually won it. That run was made. England have the players to do that.
Yeah.
But you need a manager who can do that as well. And I just don't think Southgate is the manager to actually bring that forward.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he hasn't shown anything. That's why.
Yeah, and then there's also the aspect that he doesn't have that many games to change tactics, play with tactics, learn new tactics.
You do that during the friendlies.
Yeah, but even his friendlies, they're with like the weirdest teams sometimes.
Because he had no clue what he's doing. I'm convinced. Honestly, I'm convinced that he has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
But again,
do you reckon he's just treating it as like FIFA 20? He's like, you know what, these guys are doing well. If
FIFA 20, it'd be more sensible because you'd start guys like Grealish or Sancho. Not here's what annoys me. Here's what annoys me, right? Grealish, Sancho, either of those players have to be in. If they're not starting, if you have the other one, I'll be like, you know what, fair enough. You made a tactical decision. He started neither of them.
Yeah.
Sancho wasn't even on the bench.
But then
Sterling was. I know Sterling scored, but come on, man! Like anyone could have scored that goal. And
I feel like it was the problem in that game as well was that they just kept doing long balls to Sterling, and Sterling's not in the best of form to like get the ball. And
also, he's up against 6'2" Croatian players, and Sterling's not the tallest kid on the block.
And they have like strength, they're like really well built.
And it's not like Sterling has some good feet, but it's not like he's Sancho level or Grealish level. So
he doesn't. Do you know what? He doesn't have that pace and flair as he used to have.
No, he still has pace. Like. He still has pace. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Like I think Sterling is quality. But I think when you have so much more quality,
like comparatively with Jadon Sancho, if you put Jadon Sancho and Sterling, and you're like, who's got the best pace and flair? I'd always go for Sancho.
I'd be scared of Sancho coming in because he would make me look like an idiot. And he can do
for sure.
He can do what Sterling does, but more. He's proved, and people are saying, "Oh, well, Sterling did it for City." Sancho's been doing it for Dortmund. He's been doing it in the Champions League for time. People just don't watch it.
People just don't watch Bundesliga.
I'm convinced that Southgate
doesn't watch
Bundesliga.
He does not watch Bundesliga.
Oh my! It's just clearly doesn't watch the Prem either because apparently he doesn't like Grealish. So
yeah, I mean, there's many question marks over it all, but I mean, I think another benefit of the current team is that a lot of the players play for top 4 clubs. So they're in, there's players from, the top 4. There's players from, Dortmund, Atletico for Kieran Trippier. They just won the league. Sancho at Dortmund, they're doing crazy as well. And these players are now actually playing lots of different clubs from different countries.
Yeah.
So I feel like Southgate is heavily relying on their own expertise and their independent, skills for that.
But that's not, you know why that's not good? Because it's usually the manager's job to provide that to his players.
100%.
I understand where you're coming from, but essentially, I feel like this is not really attacking. This is a attack on Southgate. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
But essentially, what he said is Southgate has no experience, so he's relying on his players to give him experience on his own job.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And bearing in mind, these kids, they're like, a lot of them are really young. Like Foden's 21. There's no expertise he has. Like it's not like they're senior players, And if I look at, I think there's an element of Southgate probably doesn't like Grealish and Sancho. I think there's an element of that.
Possibly.
He loves Mount. Mount deserves to be after the season he had. He deserves to be starting, and he can play deeper in midfield, so he offers something different. But his Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling, these are his like boys essentially.
Yeah, 100%.
Even Trippier. So he's already showing a bias.
And then Kane just has to be there because there's no other.
Kane does have to go. Kane is a guaranteed
there's no
start.
other striker
he's literally he starts like there's no way he's not starting. But again, that's one of his boys. He even bought Rashford on, who's one of his boys.
Yeah, and Rashford isn't in the best form. I mean, he's
good.
He's good. He's got 20 goals and assists in the Prem. Blah blah blah. But this season, I genuinely think hand on heart, he did not have a good season.
Do you think Southgate has that? So like Sir Alex had that whole. This is not later on, but earlier on during like the '99 seasons, he got rid of David Beckham, right? Because David Beckham was becoming that superstar almost, and he didn't like it. So actually wanted to sign to Madrid. Do you think Southgate has something similar? Because if you look at the players, Sancho, Grealish, there is something similar about them, isn't there?
There is, but I don't think Southgate is like, I don't want them. I think he's just like, these guys have played for me. They've done this well. I trust them. It's that trust.
Why does he trust Mount and Rice then?
That's what I don't get.
That's what I think. I think there has to
even
be...
Foden. Why are you trusting Foden?
Yeah, exactly.
But it could be the essence of just they're that good that you can't keep them out.
To me, this is most controversial, but with WATTPOD maybe something. I mean, they have some nice haircuts. Jack Grealish,
Sancho
has a dangerous skin fade.
Yo, maybe if you guys want to come on WATTPOD, by the way.
If you guys want the haircuts, come on WATTPOD, book it in. You guys probably already do, even though it's not available right now. Is it available right now, director?
No, it's not.
Not yet, but coming very, very soon. Very soon. But yeah,
speed up, director. Anyway.
I think he likes a certain. It seems like he likes a certain image, and he likes his old boys as well. On top of it, because like Mount, ever since he got rid of his skin fade, he's been starting every game for England. I'm not saying that man has a great season, deserves to be in there, but do you know what I mean? Like there is an element of Trent as well. Trent has a certain haircut, and he didn't like him. He was not going to bring him. I think he was the most relieved man when he found out he was injured, because he realized, now I don't have to start him, and he was never going to start him.
Possibly. He
started Trippier.
Trippier's got a nice fade sometimes. No, his fades are clean.
Yeah, it's decent. But let's make it clear: you start Trippier over Reece James
or Ben Chilwell.
Oh, sorry, a left back. Sorry, wait.
So you played a right back and a left back.
Luke Shaw, either or, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Even more so Luke Shaw, because he had a great season.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I rate Ben Chilwell. Fair enough. Trippier, what?
I think Trippier is the best right back they have.
No, he's not the best right back.
Yeah, no, Trippier.
Left back or right back?
So left back is Luke Shaw.
Yeah,
Ben
and that's where Trippier started.
Yeah, okay.
Kyle Walker was right back.
And right back is Kyle Walker.
Reece James,
Trippier.
No.
So,
Trippier was left back.
Yeah, but
right?
In essence, that's their actual positions, right?
Okay.
So he should be right back. That's his natural position.
No. Right back. Honestly, if you want experience and you want a good right back, Kyle Walker's your go-to, because he has both. If you want skill, if you want actual ability, you go for Reece James, because he has the most ability.
Yeah.
And he's better in defending and attacking. He demonstrated in the Champions League he can actually defend a lot better.
Yeah.
Even the FA Cup final as well, even though we lost, he kept Vardy in the pocket like I've never seen. Trippier, what does he have?
I don't know. I don't know if this is some weird like bias I have to him, or I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I just feel like Trippier can create those weird chances that maybe Walker and James can't see.
I completely disagree with that, because those guys are creative as well.
My knowledge is Man United.
No,
I have Wan-Bissaka as right back. All he does is tackle. You know,
he doesn't
cross. He doesn't do nothing.
He actually lets people go past him so he can make a tackle as well.
not in the team either. That's ridiculous.
Because the other, he's left back, right?
He's a right back.
Oh yeah, because the right backs are too good. Well, according to Southgate, no.
Okay, so would you have Wan-Bissaka over Trippier then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then
because he offers something. At least he makes a tackle. Trippier, I don't know what Trippier has. I genuinely don't know, because Kyle Walker has all those qualities already on the pitch. So he's already providing you experience, leadership, and more. So why do you need Trippier as well? Surely you should have another fullback because he's providing you something else.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why it bugs my head so much.
I feel like we can go on about England for years on years.
But that's what makes it so interesting, you know. At least have some character. For Foden's got his hair dye. He has some sort of character. So at times England felt like they had no character. The soul was being sucked out of the team.
Yeah.
Now they've got something, but
I feel like before everyone looked stressed to be there.
Yeah.
And now everyone's happy to be there. They want to be there. So
that's true. Actually, that's a positive.
I mean, you can even see it with the training videos and the when they arrive and stuff, like how friendly they are with each other and everything. So
I mean, a lot of them went through the system together.
Yeah.
Like you saw in the Champions League final, Foden and Mount. Them, they have that closeness to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much covers football for now, no?
I mean, we still have to do our predictions for Euros.
Oh, I was hoping I was avoiding that one. I was trying to trick you there. Because honestly, when it comes to predictions...
Okay, you can do...
Actually, my record hasn't been bad thinking back now. There's only one World Cup where I was really off.
So do predictions for final and winner. What 2 teams do you reckon will reach the finals?
I don't know the schedule actually. So that would help.
To be honest, I don't know how.
That's the issue. Yeah, if you're telling me the best teams, I can go from that. Which teams I expect to do well?
Okay, so which teams do you expect to do well? Like what teams do you think will be like?
So off the bat, if I'm looking squad like player for player, France have the best squad. I feel it's the most complete squad.
Yeah.
And they essentially signed a player like in a transfer window with Benzema.
Yeah.
I know there's no, but they literally made a major signing with Benzema. I mean, I've rated Benzema for so long, man.
He's injured currently, but
mate, even if it's injured, like I'd start him ahead of Giroud, and I love Chelsea. So and Giroud is good as well, but Benzema for something completely different and unique.
Got this different class.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest in Europe.
Yeah.
Incredible player, and him and Mbappe together would work well. It worked with Real Madrid and Ronaldo. It's going to work with this. The other team, I thought Holland were actually going to make it very far. Then Van Dijk got injured. Yeah. Right now, I haven't seen them play yet. So I need to see a bit more about them.
I think they won 3-2 against Ukraine or something.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they struggled.
But again, 3-2, it shows you they needed a defense and needed a Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Because that could have been a 3-0. And all of a sudden we're having a different conversation. So I don't know. I need to see a bit more of them. But I honestly feel Germany, I want obviously German. But I've not as much as Southgate. I don't have a lot of faith in Joachim Löw anymore. I think football's almost past him. But I think when Flick comes in the World Cup, I think we'll be deadly.
Yeah.
So I'm patient, playing the patient game of Germany. Honestly, I think a team to watch out for will be Italy.
Italy, yeah.
I think they're a team to watch out for. They've got something to prove.
I think Italy, Belgium's
a bit aging though, and De Bruyne is out with a concussion. Maybe he comes back and scores 6 goals. So by the time we put this out,
I feel like you can never write off Belgium though.
You can't. I mean, Lukaku's on hot form. He is crazy.
Like that man, as soon as he sees a goal, he just like
scores. Lukaku's a different beast, so he could carry that team.
So who's your ultimate winner? Just put it down. Who's your winner? Who's winning the Euros in Faiq's head?
If I had to put my money on, which I'm not, because that's haram.
Yeah, very haram.
But honestly, if I had to choose a team, that would be France, just because of the team itself. I haven't seen enough. I'll probably get a better prediction as games go on.
Yeah,
I think team to watch out for is Italy. I think they can really do some damage.
Yeah,
they got something to prove. They're not afraid to play dirty, and Jorginho is the man.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people don't like him, but let me tell you something. I'm biased. I'm a Chelsea fan, but people sleep on Jorginho. He is a real problem in midfield.
Okay. I mean, from my side, I think winners, Germany.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like Germany's got a pretty solid team.
They do.
Good team. And Joachim Löw on his last, legs, he needs to prove something from the World Cup.
Yeah, he's not going to, but
he's not.
I'm joking.
I believe in him. I feel like he will.
Okay.
So I feel like Germany, and then underdog. I don't really know about the other teams really.
Some people are saying Turkey, but that was before the 3-0 loss.
Yeah, I mean Turkey. People are like Turkey. Yeah, they're the youngest team, but then that doesn't really help you too many times.
Portugal actually is one worth mentioning as well. It should get a special mention because that's a very strong team.
I feel like Portugal might be my underdog.
They could be, and the thing is, that group is such a tough group, but all 3 of them could actually make it out because there's always one team that can actually go. Yeah. And Hungary are
the best third place team. They do like some playoff and they can come through anyway.
Exactly, yeah. So there's a chance that all 3 of them go through.
Yeah.
Portugal are a serious team,
100%.
and Ronaldo's nothing to do with it because Ronaldo is right now at the stage of his career, he's a luxury player. So they come in for about 60 minutes. He could score like 2 goals, come off, and they can rest him, and they can afford to do it because of the players they have around him.
Yeah,
they've got a solid team around him.
They've got a really good team this time. Yeah.
I mean, and every position they've got at least someone there. You know
and
what I mean?
Even if they take off like Ronaldo, you got like Diego Jota. He did really good. Yeah, he's a class player.
You've got Felix right next to Ronaldo as well.
Yeah.
Who can essentially do the same thing at this stage of his career.
Deadly team.
Fernandes at midfield. I think
their defense is good. Pepe, Ruim, Diaz.
Is Cancelo fullback as well? Am I right?
Yeah. I think they're the right back.
Yeah. Sorry, our director's trying to direct, but he's doing a terrible job.
No way. Serious?
Oh, guys! So breaking news.
Wait. So what did they say?
So.
Point the mic towards him. Point the mic towards him. So you can just say off cam.
Let's see this
towards him. And then
Says to Liam and Social Gloves, after reviewing the result for Holder vs Gib fight with scores 49-46, 49-46, 50-46, AnEson Gib won by a unanimous decision. I have no excuse for it being called a majority draw other than plain simple human error. I'm embarrassed by this mistake, not catching it and correcting it ringside. I sincerely apologize to both fighters, especially Mr. Gib, who fought an amazing fight and deserved the recognition for his win. Sincerely, Tom Sconzo, ISKA director, which is International Sport Karate.
Damn.
Okay, fantastic name. So guys, in case you didn't hear our director, we just got the news. AnEson Gib, the man himself, has got the W. And
got the dub.
I don't know what he meant by human error, because I don't understand how you can have a human error in judging. That's the whole point about judging. Well, I think, and I'd correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like they wanted to push a narrative and he got found out and he got embarrassed and they realized, well, actually it's not worth it because we're not going to sign any fighters in future pay-per-views. Let's actually give the W because he deserves it.
My conspiracy was that they needed something where people talk about the event.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because all you had was YouTubers winning. That's not much to talk about. People knew YouTubers would win. You had one knockout, that's it. You had one upset, Deji losing, but everyone knew Deji would lose from the weigh-in because of the way he looked.
Okay.
And the size he was.
Yes.
He'd had a great round 1, round 2, but ultimately he lost. So you had sort of an upset, sort of a chat about it. But there was no thing where people kept talking about the event.
Okay.
And they were really pushing this social media narrative.
Yeah.
And if you looked at trending, they were never trending really.
Yeah.
It was individuals trending. Deji was trending. FaZe Jarvis was trending because of his knockout.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that made Social Gloves or Live by Live trend. So bringing that draw made them trend.
It does actually make a lot of sense if you think about it because it definitely created a buzz. I was talking about it.
To them, doing a little thing afterwards keeps them trending.
It does.
Because now everyone's talking about Gib and people are like, wait, so Gib won, what is this? Oh, there's a Live by Live Social Gloves. Oh, that's what they did.
Do you think that organization, if you're a YouTuber and you're fighting against a bigger star, would you really want to fight for that organization knowing that could happen again?
People will forget.
Do you think?
People will forget.
Or do you think they'd rather come to the UK and go with Eddie Hearn?
People will forget.
That's true. It is the internet.
For America, people will forget easily. In America,
short-term memory is a big thing in America.
Let's not question their abilities. That's a dark hole to go down. But in America,
that generation, it has that.
That is Faiq's
TikTok.
opinion.
The whole listen, where it's covering the space. Let's call it what it is. YouTube, TikTok. The whole point about TikTok is having a short attention span. That's the whole point about having TikTok. And we're gonna be no different because let's be honest, we don't want to waste anyone's time.
Yeah. Even though we were talking about the Euros, now we're talking about AnEson Gib. But
no, there's going to be two separate clips.
Oh,
we don't need to mention that.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But my point of view was that even for the company, positives and negatives always boost the company's name.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Like you could have HSBC worked with cartels and stuff, did money laundering. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone even think about that?
No, you're right.
Elon Musk doing weird things with Tesla and SpaceX. Does anyone remember? No one cares.
That's true.
That's the thing. People care in the moment, and then 2 days later, 3 days later, they'll be like, "Oh, it's whatever."
You're right, actually, because we see the same thing in boxing happen all the time.
Yeah,
there's always bad calls. You always go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose they're being boxing. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing in that sense, just trying to get that attention. I mean, what do you think? How do you think Gib feels? Do you think he's just happy to get the W? Is it a bit like why did it?
The thing is, Gib knew he won. Everyone knew Gib won.
Yeah.
So it was never the fact of like maybe he won, maybe he didn't win. People knew hands down, hand on heart, he won.
Yeah.
And he knew that himself. Taylor knew that from seeing his reaction.
Didn't see it.
And the ref knew that. Did you see the reaction of the ref as well? So people knew he won.
Yeah.
So I think it just helps him be like, you know what, like, look, this solidifies that I won. There's no controversy about it. I actually won.
Yeah, you're right in that sense. I think I've never seen in boxing, because even when a lot of people say like, oh, this person should have won, like Tyson Fury in the first fight, there's still some people who could make honestly like a decent claim of why they thought the other fighter won.
Yeah.
Right. With this one,
there's no question.
Like the eye test and also the stats. I think the punches thrown.
Yeah, the punches from 41 to like 25 or something.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
And that was the same pattern we saw in all the other wins. Literally the same pattern.
Yeah, one person just dominating. Really.
Dominated.
Yeah,
and the other person threw less punches, and that person won.
True.
So my point of view, they just needed something to make it controversial and put their name out there.
Well, it did work. You're right. It worked. To be fair, Gib looked really, really good as well.
Yeah.
I never really talked about it, but maybe rematch Jake Paul. Probably not.
Probably not. I think Jake Paul probably won't fight any YouTubers.
Yeah, I think him. He's over it. I think him and Logan Paul in the same space because I think we mentioned the other day the skill, and I'll put KSI in the same bracket as well. Actually, the skill and the clout ratio is really, really strange for them because in terms of clout, they're up with the biggest fighters in the world. Mm-hmm. They just are. They occupy this space that we just mentioned.
Yeah,
they are the kings of that.
Yeah.
But skill wise, there are a lot. There are massive. They're just levels above all these other YouTubers and influencers.
100%.
But are they the same level as pro boxers? Not quite yet. As championship levels, like championship boxers, of course not. But that's where I put some really awkward place, which is why you're seeing Jake Paul treading his water with MMA fighters, going step by step, because he's trying to see. Honestly, you have the competitive side to it, but I respect it because he's trying to test his skill level. He's trying to test where he's at. Of course, Logan Paul went against Mayweather, but that was clearly the money grab.
Yeah.
But you can see Jake Paul really going for how far can I actually go.
Yeah. So, but I think genuinely, Jake would never come back to YouTube. He would never do a YouTube boxer unless it's KSI. Maybe
Logan Paul.
Maybe Logan Paul. They already said they'll fight anyway. So
that makes sense.
Maybe Gib, if Gib gets enough, clout again.
Yeah, even if Gib gets clout, though, you're right, because Jake Paul is actually part of. It's really strange to say, but he's part of mainstream sports media.
Yeah,
in America, ESPN, all those guys. Yeah. He's one of the guys there. He was on a podcast exclusively made for fighting. He now occupies a completely different space.
And to be honest, I don't want to watch him fight KSI.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch him fight.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Anything. I just want to keep seeing how far up he can go up that ladder. I'd rather see that than watch him and KSI fight, man.
Yeah.
It's just a petty argument on YouTube now, isn't it?
That's what most YouTube fighting is.
Yeah, but it's not that Jake Paul would win or Jake Paul's on another level. He's just in a different field now.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just doesn't make sense for him to come back from that field.
I mean, the curiosity is almost like Icarus. How far can he fly?
Yeah,
close to the sun.
Yeah,
and is he smart enough to pull out, or actually can he go all the way? Yeah. And he's fighting Woodley, and I think that's a massive step. Yeah. I respect him, win, lose, or draw, for fighting him. Mm-hmm. I don't think he beats him, but if he does beat Woodley, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, if he beats Woodley, there's no way. Why would you go to KSI? Why?
Yeah, there's no.
Respect to K. I love him. He's my favorite ever. But
I think if he beats Woodley, the fight between him and McGregor makes sense.
Yeah, or him and any other sense. One of the Diaz brothers called him out as well.
Yeah, but I don't think the Diaz brothers, because actually could work. I don't think that fight would happen because I don't think Jake Paul would want the Diaz brothers. I think his clout is very similar. McGregor is on slightly higher level, so he can bring something to the table.
Yeah,
that's
for sure. Let's be honest, they're similar characters, really.
Yeah, they're actually very, very similar.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see.
It'd be really weird to see as well too. Yeah. Same. We could get the humble McGregor that we saw against Poirier, the one who was talking about his hot sauce and taking pictures with him. You never know. Maybe you could see humble Jake Paul. That would be something.
That would be nice. But yeah, I mean, we diverted from Euros to boxing, but I think it was a good diversion.
We could cut this out. I don't know why you're mentioning it. You're ruining Watpa.
We're not ruining Watpa.
You have ruined.
You've
ruined Watpa.
There's no cuts in this podcast, man. It's authentic. It's
okay,
real,
I like the app. It's real.
It's real, authentic.
Like our partners.
Watpa.
I just had an idea for a challenge, by the way.
Watpa.
I just had a challenge for an idea, by the way, and I probably should be saying this on camera, but you know what? We're going with the flow. What if we did a little competition with our partners, and one of us or both of us gets a haircut for every single one, and then we show it to these guys and let the viewers rate the
trim.
Yeah, we'll just take a couple of votes. We'll see who won, and we give a little reward. What does our director think?
I think it's a good idea.
Right?
We can draw up the plans and really talk about it.
The question is, what kind of haircut are you going to go for? It's got to be the same style consistently. Otherwise, it's unfair.
I think whatever my style is right now, I'll go for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what my style
You haven't
is.
got a haircut recently. So there's no haircut.
I don't know.
You're just gonna grow your hair out.
I don't know really, but
we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it off cam. But
that's interesting. Actually, going on that theme, since we've already covered huge topics, talking about showing certain things.
Yeah, showing off.
I believe, just like back in primary school, you have a little item you want to show.
Yeah, it's like golden time at primary school. You know, that 1 hour you get. But I think this will be visible on camera. We've got this little Illuminati eye box, tin box.
Slightly close so you can focus in, maybe.
I think
like, it's slightly, just slightly. Right? Yeah, there you go. Maybe not as awkwardly.
That
okay,
camera.
there you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
This camera.
There you go.
Okay, so this tin, if you don't understand what this tin is, it's Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Faiq is really into his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, heavily into them.
Yes.
I watched the anime when I was younger.
Yes.
And I rewatched the whole thing.
Just a quick disclaimer. I'm not as into them as I am now. So if you test me with knowledge recently, I would not be able to tell you. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I recently got my little deck, and because Faiq's knowledge is so great in the space, I thought we should probably show off some cards. And then Faiq knows some little secret facts about Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I heard through the grapevine of our director, who's eating at 1 a.m. But yeah, so we've got different cards. These are like, I don't know how they'll show on camera, but these are the...
They will show if you put it... To us, even in the cut, we could even edit in.
Oh, yeah, we can edit it in.
But to be honest with you, I think we should... Do you want to show each card, or do you want to talk a bit more about the values and how the rarity works?
I think let's talk about that, because not just Yu-Gi-Oh cards are now picking up in value, but... We've got Pokemon cards heavily up in value. We had speaking of boxing, Logan Paul wore a Charizard as a chain, no? So I mean the values of these cards are crazy now. They're doing fancy things like this is like a prism.
Yeah, you guys will recognize that card as well. It's one of the OG cards, Monster Reborn, but
one of the oldest cards in the game.
But in a crazy rare,
like a really shiny version. I think if I flick it around like this, it'll probably see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these cards are now coming in like different versions, ultra rares, super rares, and they're really picking up the price. So, what do you think of the marketplace now for cards? Do you reckon it's a healthy addition to the cards or a negative addition? Because many people in the Pokemon community see two sides. They see either profit, it's fun, let's do it, and then another side is like, maybe a kid just wants some Pokemon cards, and now the packs are really expensive.
Well, to be fair, the values of the packs don't change. More so Yu-Gi-Oh, because the more expensive the pack is, the more rare cards, for example, you get. For example, your pack that you got, you have I think like 2 or 1 secret rare at least per pack.
It's like guaranteed.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. So that's the sort of thing you get. The thing is, I think it's a benefit because there's two sides when it comes to trading cards. Number one is actually, for example, going to tournaments, becoming good at it and competing.
Yeah.
Second part, which is what we as kids used to do, which is what I'm sure people watching will remember, is actually collecting.
Yeah. Trading.
Oh, I want that card because I like it, so I'm going to trade that. And that spirit is being captured by collecting as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why a lot of people, including myself, would watch unboxing videos.
Yeah.
Because we want to be part of that experience, and that experience means more than actually playing the game.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with that. I think there's obviously two sides to each thing. One side is like, yeah, okay, maybe kids are missing out on specific packs. Because there are packs in Pokemon now that are like, you know, branded weirdly, and they're like $500 for one pack. And it's like 9 cards. And there's no guarantees in them.
That's why I like Yu-Gi-Oh! You're never going to get that inflation.
Yeah. So with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just, I think the difference is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a serious game.
Yeah.
It's not like Pokemon where like you've got, you know, different, or you've got like mana, energy, you know, things like that. Here it's like really...
There's because it's a card game, and Actually, okay. So Pokemon is a video game.
Yeah.
And then it branched off to a card game and an anime.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh was actually a manga first.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, the creator of it was just playing this card game. And a fan wrote and they said, we want to know what card games they're playing, those characters, and we want to play the same card game. So the next chapter, he actually put cards in, drew them out, and gave descriptions on how to play the game.
Oh, really?
So the game actually took off as a consequence of the anime rather than the other way around.
You mean the manga, right?
So the manga, because then the anime was animated, blah blah blah. So originally there was no card game; it was just a bunch of shadow games, which were life and death scenarios, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's one game where if you shoot this gun with the glass in hand, then you might be burned alive, you'll die, or I die. There's a really terrible description, but games like
Yu-Gi-Oh
like
used to be
that,
like a really
dark
thing.
Like the Pharaoh, the spirit, he was literally an evil Pharaoh, and he would help Yugi because it'll be against someone who's trying to do harm to him. He'd come up with these really dark games where he would end up killing the person, essentially.
Is this where the Shadow Realm theory, what the true Shadow Realm used to be is?
Yes and no. So again, going by the dark theme, the original Japanese anime and the manga, of course, as well. There was no... When a player was playing a shadow game, it was a life and death game, just how it was originally before the Yu-Gi-Oh card game was created. So if you lost, for example, you lost your life points, you will die in the anime manga. Now, with the Shadow Realm which a lot of you will remember, and the reason why is because it was an invention created by the dubs, especially for kids.
Yeah.
So when it came to America and as a consequence UK as well, they obviously didn't want to let kids know it's life and death game, with a children's trading card. So they created the Shadow Realm, which is essentially you lose, you are banished to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Now, in hindsight, if you really think about it, your soul being banished to a place called the Shadow Realm, where you can't really return unless you're a special magical pharaoh.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot worse, if you ask me, than actually dying. Because it sounds like you're guaranteed to go in a version of hell. And I'm not sure if that's really where I would want to be.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think even in the anime, they show maybe Joey or something goes to the Shadow Realm and he's stuck there for a while.
Yeah.
That's the essence of the hell, where it's just a repeated thing where you can't get out.
Yeah, so in manga, it's just you're either mind trapped or you're literally dead. You're in hell, basically. Yeah. Which is insane. But yeah, I think a lot of times when it comes to dubs and subs, Japanese culture is very different. So it seems like they're more hardcore down there. I'm not sure. Do you remember One Piece when it came to 4Kids? They instead of having guns, they had bubble guns, which is really weird. instead of Sanji, which I don't know if you guys remember him, but he's a character who's notorious. Like it's part of his character that he smokes. Like it's just a what's the word? A pet peeve? Not a pet peeve.
No, it's just
something. It's a trait that he has.
Yeah.
So in 4Kids, they gave him a lollipop.
Damn.
Literally a lollipop.
He just has a lollipop instead.
Just, and when he brings out, he does this. He just brings out the lollipop.
Oh man.
Which
that actually ruins the image of One Piece.
And that's why it didn't take off as well. But Yu-Gi-Oh did fine because the trading card came in coalition. So the Yu-Gi-Oh card itself became a marketing for the anime.
Yeah.
But then in the long run, after the anime finished, the anime became a marketing for the card game.
Like the anime was like, you guys want to know how you play? Watch the anime, basically.
Yeah. The only consistent was Pokemon. Pokemon was always a way of making money. The anime was to promote the video game. That was a primary reason, and they always kept it, which is why they always kept the main characters the same age.
Yeah, that's true.
It just never grows up.
Yeah. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, it always changes main characters a bit different every time.
Yeah, they changed them.
Even in Pokemon, Ash is in like 3 different Pokemons or something like that. 3 different storylines. Yeah, which makes no sense.
He's still, I think, like 11 or something.
Yeah, and he's still the same age.
Yeah, like months goes by, years goes by. No, he's still the same age.
He's actually like a older man, just a creep.
Even at one point, they're like, "Oh man, he's been in so many regions. He has so much experience." I'm like, "Well, no, he doesn't, because he's probably in one region for 1 week or 2 weeks."
Yeah, literally.
And he just moved on. But yeah, I digress. I think that's something Yu-Gi-Oh called is they changed the whole timeline, so it sets in the future, and then they have a new character because of course Yugi can't live for 50, 60 years after being 20.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it's I suppose there's more prestige with Yu-Gi-Oh. Hence why even if you look at the design,
Yeah.
this is a retro design. You know, it's a retro feel, and our generation remember that more.
Yeah.
But the new
100%.
generation, will have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
At all.
They'll be more used to GX and onwards, where things
Even
got.
GX is old. Listen, GX is about 15 years old now.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So even that, imagine that for them, the new one is I think that was not even Zeal. I think Zexal is old now, so they have something else going on.
Yeah.
So makes you feel old, doesn't it? But
Everything makes me feel old, man. I'm 21.
yeah.
I feel old every day.
Oh, that's 21. Wow, you're so old. Great.
But yeah, I mean that was
The director just gave me a look as well.
Yeah, he's a Burda guy, bro. So yeah, that's our show and tell segment, I guess. I feel like we should probably do one each podcast. Just bring something random and just have like that.
Just talk a bit more about the. Yeah, that'll be fun. Let us know. I don't know why I'm saying let us know. I'm still getting in the habit. But because we're gonna pre-record this anyway, so
yeah. So
no matter what you say, you're gonna get what you're given.
Yeah, literally. So do let us know if you want us.
Yeah, let us know if you want to.
If you want something specific, or
subscribe, all of that. Let us know what you think about Walidafy's glasses, what you think about my backwards hat. Let us know what you think about. Well, you guys didn't see director sleep last time.
Yeah, he was sleeping pretty bad.
But yes, just send us comments about why it's unprofessional.
Yeah. You can actually send us voice messages on Anchor.fm. So if you go to our page on Anchor.fm, you can send us voice messages.
Here's a challenge: send us your best snoring impression. We'll see how accurate it is to our director. Just as a fun little game.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how accurate it is, and then we may put it over our director's snoring on TikTok, Instagram.
Exactly, and we will shout you out as well at the very least. Maybe a special prize for you, but we'll definitely shout you at the very least.
Maybe give you a little prismatic super rare, but
Monster Reborn.
You're not getting that. It's a very expensive.
Yeah,
card.
you're not getting.
You're not getting any of these.
Don't do that.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Those of you on Spotify, do make sure you watch the video on YouTube so you know what we're showing and what we're displaying on screen. If you don't have the time, thank you anyway for listening. We hope your train journey, your little sleep, maybe you wanted to snore like our director. Whatever you were doing, you listened to it, enjoyed it, had fun. But yeah, thank you for listening, and it's been What the Podcast. No, What a Time to Podcast is.
You messed up. We're going to keep this in, by the way. It's What a Time to Podcast. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Inshallah.
It's all pre-recorded, so you are definitely going to see us soon.
And it might be cut. Okay, anyway, thank you. Bye. Bye.